Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I think I will have two discussion again today about some other thing regarding the continent as well. And I'm not saying that I know everything at all. I'm just sharing my thoughts and why I really truly believe that the situation that the continent is going through, Africa, of course, it's really, it really bothers me. I don't know how to explain that because I've never seen in my life a continent that has everything and people suffer in that same continent and the people are poor in that same continent. I don't know why it never make our leaders uncomfortable about the situation. And I've been talking a lot about some situation that we are going through as African, but I have, there is something. So I've been thinking, because we enter in 2025, and when you look, I don't see anything that shows me that things will be different. I don't see anything that shows me that things will be different in 2025. Okay, by the time that you see evolution in other continents in the world, only Africa is always backward in a way. We try to fight a little bit, but there are many more issues. And I've been thinking about it, and I think it's deeper than that. One of the situations that I think is witchcraft. Witchcraft, the victimization, the victim card, witchcraft, the victim mentality, and the leadership. So I will try to talk. I will have maybe a few videos that have other things to do as well, but I've been thinking a lot about it because I see 2025. I don't see anything special happening because even recently I watched the news in Africa, not only my country but other places in Africa. And please don't bring me this statement that you like to say, don't talk about my country. Really, I don't care about it. If you are in Africa, I will talk about your country, but I will probably not say the names for some of you because some of you are some African are so stuck in their mind that it's difficult to even address some stuff about their country. So as you can see, I didn't prepare that. So I'm just, because I've been thinking about it a lot. And I don't know how this video will go, but please let me talk because it's a lot I've been observing. And I think what I'm trying to do is one thing that we think are normal when in fact it affects us a lot. And witchcraft is one of the things. Okay, witchcraft is one of the things that really make Africa not moving forward. And to me, when I talk about witchcraft, I include everything, spiritualities or whatever you do, that personally I will never do. May God help me not never get initiated in stuff like that, because it has never helped Africa at all. Just by fact, okay? I see the continent. I don't see anything that your spirituality, you who are very into African spiritualities and idolatry, I'm really asking you a question: how your spirituality and your gods have helped the continent? Because this is this is the result here. And we enter 2025 and we still don't know where we are going. And we're still struggling with the same situation over and over. So the question I have to my people who are in witchcraft and who are, because it's the same thing for me, African spiritualities, temples, where you go to some temples and you do initiation of whatever. The question I have for you is, tell me how your gods have changed and impacted the continent. You tell me. Because, you know, how the other question I have, because it's very important that we think about it. The other question I have is, because slavery, you talk about how 200 years, maybe more, I don't know. So for 200 years, I don't know how many years the how do you say that, the Europeans were taking Africans to the American continent as slaves. How many years it took? And all this time, no, I have this question seriously. All this time, your gods couldn't do something about it. Where were these gods, these African spiritualities? What they could not stop the mermaid that you are worshipping. Okay, this is, they were born. I mean, I don't even know that. No, they're not born. They are spiritual. They're spirituals being that have been there for the time that we know that since the earth was created by God. So it means that they are way older than the time we see them. Mermaids are worshipped almost, you know. So these mermaids, these trees that you are praying, these gods that you are praying, why they didn't stop slavery to take place? The deportation of all these people for years. They could, you know, they could do like the Titanic. They could push the ship and the Titanic, and like the Titanic, and then like the Titanic, they could just, inverse the ship. They did nothing. So the question I have today is simple. I heard many Africans saying that Europeans brought Christianism in Africa, the Bible in Africa, and so on and so on. It is very sad because it shows how people are kind of ignorant about some part of the history. I don't say that I know everything, but before saying stuff that you don't have conviction, you don't really know for fact, maybe you should take time to read a little bit the Bible, because you are going to say stuff that are not true. Okay, Christianity didn't come with Europeans doing colonization. Christianity, the churches were built way before in Africa. They were built way before colonization. So if you want to know, because I read it in a magazine, and I think I read it again, and I did my research again later on, and it's a fact because I saw some pictures. The first churches in Africa were built in Ethiopia. And it makes sense, because if you read the Bible, you will see that they were already Ethiopians at the time were already in contact with the people of God, the people in the Bible. If you read the Bible, you will see Ethiopian already mentioned many times in the Bible. And I think Philip in the Apostle Act, the Bible of Apostle, after the book of John, you see that, and I remember that there's an Ethiopian, eunuch Ethiopian, who were baptized by Philip at the time. So that happened after Jesus died on the cross. But I think even in the Bible, when you read Jesus on the way to the Calvary, the cross he was carrying, at some point he fell, and he fell multiple times. And there were I think there was a moment where the Roman soldier picked a guy to help him carrying the cross. That guy was African. I think he was from, his name was what? Simon? He was from Libya, if I'm not wrong. Okay? So even you see the King Solomon, he met the queen of Saba from Ethiopia. And when you read the book of Song of Songs, you will see that sometimes they talk about Ethiopia. So it's not Africa. The Bible didn't come for the first time. The church didn't build. Christianity wasn't born like with European. Okay? No. They were there. The Christianity, the church were there way before European came to the continent. You know, this idea of always trying to throw the stone at other people, when in fact we should do a retrospective on ourselves, is going to lie to us. We are going to lie to us a lot, because the continent, ourselves, the problem is not always blaming other people. The problem comes from ourselves too, a lot. And it is sad because we always try to blame other people. If you want to say that Europeans used the Bible, which is true for some who came under, because even when I read the history of my country, the Protestant missionaries didn't have this goal of manipulating people. It's Catholic. The French Catholic, when they came to my country, they came on the goal to manipulate the people. I don't say that all Catholics are wrong, but that missionary sent by the French at the time were not coming for salvation of the people, but to submit the people. But when you see the Protestant, I think they were the American Protestant. When you read in the history of my country, they were making people independent, and they even let people translate, you know, and in their own languages, the Bible and some hymn, okay, in their native languages. So it is true. Some of the missionaries sent by the colonizer were doing the job, but what is different with some of fake pastors who are African, I don't say all of them, but there are a number of them who are also using the Bible to manipulate the people and doing, I think, even worse than the colonizer today. You have churches that are built in order to get people money, in order to manipulate people, and also you have some fake, because I really say fake pastors, who also sleep with some women, even for marrying women. Are you going to throw stone to your African brother and say that, it's just that, it just shows you that the humankind is not good by nature. Okay? It is not good by nature. I told you, I just say that the European colonizer used the Bible for this. And we have today some African pastors who are also using the Bible for their personal benefit and manipulating people. So you see that we have to stop always seeing the race, but see that the problem is somewhere that is deeper than that. It's the human hurt. Okay? And now let's talk about witchcraft, because witchcraft is one of the things that really is the really big issue that we have in Africa. Yeah, and I say it.